to Temple Grandin School's Power of 10 video series, where, to celebrate our decade of educating neurodiverse learners, we are creating 10 videos to share 10 things about a variety of topics related to neurodiversity. My name is Christine Keaten, and I'm the current chair of the Temple Grandin School Board of Directors. I'm also happen to be the mom of a TGS alumni student.
And I'm Justin Owens, the alumni student she's talking about. I'm a graduate of the University of Colorado, Denver, and my degree is in film and TV production.
Our last video was 10 self-care strategies for avoiding burnout. One of our school psychologists, Kathy Severing, gave 10 expert tips for steering clear of the burnout specific to people on the spectrum. You can watch it on our YouTube channel.
I'm gonna need to check that one out. This Power of 10 video is about 10 trip tips for a stress-less vacation. Mom and I have traveled together a lot over the years.
We have, I've made you.
And we've learned a few things, especially about how to make trips less stressful to someone on the spectrum.
Yeah, when Justin was little, he really did not like to travel, and it was stressful for me too. But as he's gotten older, he's gotten great at it, and he travels all by himself now.
Come on, Mom. What are you talking about? You were never stressed when we traveled together.
No. Because we learned these 10 tips that we're going to share with everyone today. Justin, do you want to give the first one?
Sure can. Travel tip number 1 for enjoying your next vacation is dream up your destination. Before you travel, you have to know where you're going. Maybe you already have a destination in mind, such as a city where you can see family or a location that you've always wanted to visit. Either way, good planning will make a huge difference. The internet can be a great tool for helping you choose a place, and once you've decided where you're going, researching all the details about the location and what you can do there.
Pro tip though, be sure that the sources you're looking at are legit sites, not just advertisements. There's a lot of travel advertisements. You want to make sure that you're getting accurate information, especially if you're reading reviews that will help you decide what to do and where to go. Once you've sorted out where you're going, you're ready for trip tip number 2. Create your itinerary.
What's an itinerary?
Good question, Justin. An itinerary is just another word for a schedule, and making one is a key piece of your trip planning. An itinerary includes all the details about what you'll do and when, including the dates, the times, and the places that you're going to go. It's the master plan for your trip, and it's something you can refer to multiple times throughout each day to keep you on track. You can always change it if you need to, but starting with a schedule helps organize yourself so you get to do all those fun things that you'd like to do while you're away. We've included a sample itinerary on the website, and you can use it as an example to create your own.
One of the things you want to make sure you include in your itinerary is downtime, which is our third travel tip. When thinking about what you need or want to do on your trip, make sure to plan breaks in between activities. It's easy to pack every minute of the day with activity, like she does, to make sure you do all the fun things that you can't do at home. But as a human being, especially as someone on the spectrum, you don't want to burn yourself out. It's better to give yourself opportunities to recoup throughout the day. Try to know your limits and build in flexible time so you can make decisions based on what you need in the moment.
Yeah, this is an important one for parents to remember. I do overschedule, and I had to really adjust to make sure I thought about Justin having breaks when we're out and he needs some downtime. You'll also want to have some flex time in case you encounter something unexpected during your day that takes more time than you anticipated. And you won't have to be as stressed if you already have some padding in your schedule. Downtime is a great way to give yourself some extra margin and better enjoy your time away.
Now that you know what you're going to do and when, it's time to decide what to pack, which is our 4th tip.
This is another key piece of the planning and organizing for your trip. The secret to effectively packing is to take the things you definitely need and avoid taking a lot of things that you don't need. Make sure you know what kind of weather and conditions that you should expect where you're going. Will it be hot? Will it be cold? Will it be raining? Will you be doing a lot of walking? Do you need some extra comfortable shoes? That's important. Are you doing a special activity that requires certain kinds of clothing, like skiing or going to the beach.
Once you've answered these questions, you can create your list. Write down all the things you'll need, and don't forget daily stuff like your toothbrush and toothpaste. Also remember that space is limited and it's easy to overpack, so really make sure that you need each item on your list. Compare your list to your itinerary so you don't forget anything you really need, and so you leave anything you don't need at home. When in doubt, leave stuff home. You can always buy something while you're on the road if you really need it.
Yep. Moving on to our next tip, keep track of the important items. So within all the things you need to take, there's some things that are the most important. They're the ones that you can't replace easily. Focus extra attention on keeping track of those things. These are things like your passport, your driver's license, phone, medications, if you wear glasses like me, or contacts, debit card, credit cards, anything that's going to be really hard to replace while you're away from home. Keep track of those. Even if you lose other things, like Justin said, a lot of things you can replace and buy wherever you are.
Have a special place to store each of these things. And before you leave any location, double check to make sure you have all of your important items. It's better to take that extra time at the end of an activity to check your belongings than to forget something and have to backtrack. And it will keep your stress level at a minimum to know your things are where they belong. Also, separate your liquids and large electronics when packing so it's easy to remove them for airport security. Another important tip for stressing less during your trip is to mentally prepare for travel. Read through your itinerary and imagine what it will be like to go through each activity, from traveling to your destination, to what you'll do there, to where you'll eat, and who you'll see. Think about the good things that you'll enjoy during the trip. Remember the fact that things may be crowded or the schedule you've made might get messed up. Imagine ahead of time possible problems you'll face and the techniques you'll use to solve those problems, including when the unexpected happens. If certain items help you handle stress and anxiety, make sure to bring those along. Try your best to relax and enjoy your trip.
Yeah, this was always a good one for Justin when he was younger, and probably for now too. But yeah, we always talk through exactly what's going to happen ahead of time.
And I keep some kind of earbuds so I can drown out if it's very loud where I go.
Yes, yeah. Once you've done all of this organizing, it's time to practice your trip. Tip number 7. Try creating your packing list and practice packing your suitcase well ahead of your trip so you can make any adjustments you might need to. And if you need to drive or take the bus to the airport and you've never done that before, maybe find a time to practice and just do that part ahead of your trip. Bus and map apps, they can help a lot, especially if you don't have the time to practice that route to the airport. And if you're going to be taking a long trip, like maybe to another country, and you haven't traveled very much by yourself yet, maybe try taking a shorter trip first before you have all the extras that come with international travel.
Like all things, practice and familiarity will make travel easier. You'll better know how to do all of the activities you need to get where you're going. And you'll experience some things that will help you know what to expect. You might even encounter problems that will show you how you might need to shift your packing list or schedule, which you'll be glad you did before you leave your house.
Yep, Justin's kind of a travel pro now, doing all of these things and traveling all by himself. Trip tip number 8 is to be ready to deal with boredom. Traveling includes waiting, lots of waiting, especially if you're traveling by yourself, like when your flight got delayed. So you want to be ready to deal with that waiting time. And if you're going on a road trip, you'll be spending a lot of time in the car, flying in the airports, the boarding zones, the waiting for your plane to take off. When you get to your destination, sometimes you got to wait for your luggage, and you never know when you might just end up waiting even in between activities, like in those Disney lines.
Having music, a book, or a downloaded show can make your downtime less boring. Remember, you may be in places without internet, so download some things ahead of time. If you are traveling with someone else, maybe bring a deck of cards or play 20 questions.
Or our favorite, 20 questions.
Even when you're relaxing, you also need to stay alert. which is our 9th trip tip. Make sure you stay aware while you're traveling, especially when you have headphones or earbuds in. Often, during waiting times, you also need to keep listening carefully for announcements that may provide important information or instruction. If you are concerned you missed something that they announced, you can always ask an airport employee or a nice stranger.
And yeah, that's good, definitely. So this goes to what you were saying before when you pulled out your earbuds for boredom. You have to balance that out, right?
Yeah.
Dealing with boredom and still making sure you're listening to the announcements.
Yeah.
Also, you want to make sure that you keep all of your belongings with you at all times and be mindful of your personal safety. If you have a funny feeling that something doesn't seem quite right, it's okay. Trust your instincts. Make sure that you and your things are safe. If you need to find someone you can trust, maybe not the stranger, maybe talk to the security guard or an airline employee. They're there to help you out.
Final trip tip, secure the homestead. While you're planning your trip, remember to set things up at home that need to be taken care of while you are away. Do you need to line up a pet sitter or someone to water your plants? Do you need to have some lights on timers or other things to keep your place secure while it's empty? Locking up when you leave is especially important when you'll be gone a while, and you might want to have a neighbor pick up your mail so it doesn't pile up in your mailbox.
Yeah, this is one I always have to remind Justin, and now he's great at it, but locking the door when you leave is especially important on a trip. Those are our 10 trip tips for a stress-less vacation. After all of your planning, preparation, remember the most important thing, have fun. Traveling is about getting away from your routine. That can bring you out of your comfort zone, and it can also give you fun opportunities to do new and amazing things that become some wonderful memories. You can handle the discomfort and enjoy so many different experiences, right?
Yeah.
If you're prepared and set your mind to having a good time.
We hope you find at least one of these 10 tips to be helpful and that you have a great time on your next adventure. Stay tuned for our next Power of 10 video. Also, please subscribe to the TGS YouTube channel. Hit that thumbs up and bell, and we'll be seeing you next time for the Power of 10.